Welcome to the creative world of sand drag racing. No telling what you might see here. Engine combinations, car combinations. Some of the guys are laying down on them. Some of the guys are set back in them. Top Fuel in the house. 8,000 horsepower dirt slingers. Let's go racing.
Got it tacked up, and if you get too close, you're getting cracked up. Stone cold when I roll, coming out of the hole. Get back, cause I'm out of control.
Ken Stout and Brian Olson to join you here once again with Lucas Oil on the Edge. A very exciting show coming your way, and all it takes is 300 foot of sand to create a racetrack. Welcome to the Dirt 300 Nitro Nationals presented by Napa, the Dirt 300 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We look forward to this style of racing all the time, Brian. As you well know, things could go wrong really quick, and that's why the track is only 300 feet long.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The length of a football field, baby. And I'll tell you what, today, though, we're going to feature Top Fuel, the kings of the sport, the Pro Quad Quick 8 category, and Top Eliminator. We got three great groups coming here today.
4 fuel cars are in the house, and the number 2 qualifier is Matt Ludlow. Down with him is our pit reporter, Danny Medin.
All right, guys, I'm with Matthew Ludlow. You are another Top Fuel driver out here. Can you talk to me a little bit about what it's like to race in conditions like this?
Oh, well, in this higher altitude, we're from Arizona. It's a little bit different. We have to apply more to the blower, tune the car a little bit different with the clutch setup. This track's a little bit sandier than we're used to, so we're just trying to take a little bit of power out of the car. Hopefully we can get like 168 miles per hour. That's our best, so if we can match that, it'd be awesome.
Big speed very quickly. Of course, the tires on the back, a big part of that. Carbon fiber panels on these tires so that they don't give up, fold over, fold under. Again, tire pressures will be critical. Here's a look at the ladder for the 4 fuel cars.
Yeah, it'll be Reich and Cameron, Ludlow and Norris here in round number 1. And Reich is your low qualifier at 2.47 seconds.
They'll roll up to the pre-stage beam and turn on the top bulb. Then about another 6 inches forward will be the staging beam itself. The pre-stage beam, just a warning that they're close to the starting line.
That's exactly right. First car's in. Boom, baby, they're ready. Oh, a red light start.
Well, a little antsy right there off the bat, and a red light start for Rick Cameron, and he is done just that quickly.
Boy, that is a consistent race car. Qualified in at 247, went 249 here round 1. Watch the left side. Boom, right there. They call it first or worse. And the only thing could have changed that had been if Reich would have crossed the center stripe, would have given it back. But he was just giving it a shot because in qualifying, the car you were just looking at right there to the left that went red was almost 300 behind in qualifying.
Doesn't matter if you leave too early, you are done here. As you take a look at that instant replay from Lucas Oil, we will continue on here in the category. Next up, Marcus Norris will line up alongside Matt Ludlow.
We talked to Matt earlier, and he said he thought he could get 160 out of this baby. He had a cylinder out right at the hit.
Absolutely, and as you well know, sometimes it can actually work to your advantage, believe it or not. And look at the ET there at 250. That is a spectacular run and his best of the weekend.
Yeah, not only that, look at the speed, 153.79. Had that cylinder out. The cylinder came back in. As you mentioned, Ken, advantageous to have it out at the start, and it picked it back up. Let's go down to Danny and speak with our winner.
All right, Matt Ludlow, you are on to finals in the Top Fuel Drags. How are you feeling?
Oh, very good, man. That pass pulled really hard there. We ran 153 miles per hour in a 250, so it was pulling on the big end.
What are your expectations for the finals?
We're going to put a little bit more in it and go after that hammer down guy, Dennis Reich. Boy, we got something for him in the finals.
So Reich and Ludlow will face off in the finals. In the previous round, there was only 0.07 of a second between the two.
This Lucas Oil On the Edge telecast is brought to you by Lucas Oil Products, made in America, sold to the world. General Tire, anywhere is possible. ReadyLift.com, don't just lift it, ready lift it. Napa Auto Parts, Napa Know-How.
Welcome back to Albuquerque, New Mexico for the Dirt 300 Nitro Nationals presented by Napa. We're in the middle of the top fuel round. Before we show you the final round, we're also going to have a race that will determine third place. That will take place between Marcus Norris and Rick Cameron.
They'll match it up. And again, that is the third place round. They call it the exhibition round. Those who weren't quite fortunate enough to be in the top two, if you will. And that will take place right here and now. Norris, the quicker of the two cars in round number one by 0.07 of a second. You want to talk about blowing the tires off? Wow. Unbelievable. Norris, just like a top fuel dragster on asphalt, smokes the tires, but he did it in the sand.
Yeah, Cameron, who had red lit in round number one, stays good here and picks up the win. He'll take third place money home here today. Nice job. And you can see the pedal job on the far side. It almost looks like he might have destroyed the tire there for Marcus Norris.
Yeah, I mean, at the hit of the throttle, that thing just kind of spun the tire a bunch. You saw a lot of death smoke come out of the car. He did hit the throttle again and made his way down to the top of the track. So, I don't know, they just straight up blew the tires off.
That replay courtesy of General Tire. We go to our final round of competition here. Matt Ludlow and Dennis Reich pairing up for the championship.
And this is going to be a good drag race. The faster car versus the quicker car in ET.
Yeah, in round one, those two were just 7 thousandths of a second away from each other, but Dennis Reich lays it down here. Look at the reaction time advantage right off the bat. That is getting it done for sure. He was on his game, and then Reich followed that up with a 253 at 143 miles per hour.
Yeah, Matt was behind right off the starting line by about 800. That's hard enough to make up. But had he had that 160-some mile an hour charge that he talked about early on, he may have been able to pick him up, but not today. The winner is Dennis Reich.
Another good look at it here from Lucas Oil. General Tire also giving us a good replay. And look at those rooster tails. Awesome.
It was a little nerve-wracking because we had to wait a few hours, but we pulled it off. You know, we told you before, this is only our third event with a Hemi. We're famous for the double 44 Nitro Mouse, but Hemis rule. This thing's running.
We've got a lot of racing yet to do. Don't go away. The Pro Quads are up next. Welcome back to Albuquerque, New Mexico on the Lucas Oil on the Edge Show. Time now for the Pro Quad Quick 8 category, courtesy of General Tire. These guys get so creative with engine combinations and chassis. Here's a look at the ladder and how they'll pair up for round one action. Right now, let's send it back down to Danny.
The quickest quads to hit the sand are coming up next here at the Dirt 300. These are not your usual quads. They're going to be tackling this track as fast as they can. Be ready for some wide open horsepower.
Some great looking engine combinations here right off the bat out of a bike. We'll see the 4-stroke, 4-cylinder combinations. We'll also see triple 2-stroke combinations. A little bit of everything, turbocharged action. So if you can build it, you can bring it.
And while it is a quad category, three-wheelers are also welcome. And one of the best in the business is right there, Lance Root.
Well, you can see him stretched out over that thing, looking for some wheelbase. Does a great job here. Lance Root at 358, 91 miles per hour.
Yeah, just watch that. Look at that rooster tail out of those smaller two wheels compared to the fuel cars we saw earlier. And Lance on the three-wheel machine, he's all laid down there. Makes a really good run.
That replay courtesy of ReadyLift.com. And yeah, great looking bike there, great looking trike, if you will. Up next, two more tough competitors. And you talked about the three-wheeler before. How about a two-wheeler?
Mike Jack and Chris Tapia, and this baby's all Chris. 396, goes 77 miles an hour. Mike Jack, a game effort on the two-wheeler, loses with a 434 ET.
Yeah, he pegged that thing. As we take a look at the ReadyLift.com replay, you can hear it up on the chip for the bike, and a huge, massive back tire there, but just not enough to hang with that quad in the far lane.
Pretty wild to look at the difference in the rooster tail between the two from the quad and the single from the bigger tire there. And also note that Jack took a real closer to the guardrail, if you will, approach to the starting line.
All right, Luis Gonzalez and Dakota Crockett paired up here. There's one of those triples we were talking about, snowmobile power plant. Boy, and these guys driving that thing right there, man. Trying to keep it straight. Does a good job. Picks up the win here. Luis Gonzalez puts a 376 up on the board.
88 miles an hour. Good looking run right there for Louis. He'll move to round number 2.
And look at Lewis move around right there at the start of that race in this replay, courtesy of ReadyLift.com, and then maintains that lead with that long wheelbase quad.
Yeah, he lost a little bit of ET there, probably as much as 2 to 300s wrestling that thing on the first, 40 to 50 feet. But a great run there.
Those things lift up and off. They get back on that wheelie bar and unload a tire, as you well know. It'll turn them very quickly, so they can get out of control. They can get pretty ugly pretty fast. All right, our next pair will be Chris Spitali and Leroy Tapia.
Beautiful candy apple red machine nearest the camera, that bright green shirt. The Tapia family got a couple of them raced here today in a great race.
And you can see Tapia really transferring weight on those back tires the entire time, sitting up and leaning towards the back to plant those rear tires. Carrying the front end, nice looking pass for Tapia. Goes 396 to 79 miles per hour and picks up the win. Identical reaction times.
Wow, that was a great side-by-side run there.
Stay with us, more Pro Quad action in a moment. Welcome back to Albuquerque, New Mexico for the Dirt 300 Nitro Nationals. Some of our young fans out here hoping to get behind the wheel one day.
He said we got to stay warm.
Yeah.
No problem.
Some creative hat-looking structure going on there. All right, here's the semifinal round with the Pro Quad Quick Eights.
Root Tapia, Gonzalez Tapia. The Tapia family make it to the semifinals. They have a shot at meeting up in the final round here. First, though, Leroy would have to get past Luis Gonzalez.
And, of course, a long wheelbase there in order to keep a little more control over these things and hopefully keep some of that weight out front.
Gonzalez quicker than 2 in the previous round. Oh, another great race.
Well, and you can tell Gonzalez, again, spinning the tires there at the hit of the throttle, 367, 103 miles per hour, but puts Leroy in the box.
That's exactly what happens. Watch this thing. Yeah, he's all over that thing. He's got a lot of steam, but that thing has a tendency to break that rear tire free pretty good.
Our Lucas Oil instant replay giving you a good look. Yeah, maybe that wheelbase is a little too long there at the start. Maybe air pressures will change that. We'll find out how Lance Root does here. Keep in mind, he went a 358. Anything in the 50s in this category is ballistically fast. So a solid pass for Lance Root in round 1.
And Lance Root has been the dominating machine in the quad category. Oh, and a red light start for young Mr. Tapia. We'll see what Root can run here. 364 at 91 miles per hour. How about that?
Yeah, and he went 91 miles per hour in round number 1, so you got to think he probably spun the tire a little bit. You can see it kind of sashaying around just a bit as well, and as far as Tapia is concerned, he knew he had to try and chop that tree down if he was going to hang with that trike, because there is no doubt Lance Root is all over it.
It hooked up, and I don't know what time I ran, but I definitely felt it, and, I'm on to the next round, so, here to do what we do.
Riveting interview right there with Lance Root. I mean, you know what? Some of these guys are here, and they are just born to race. It's not really about talking, I mean, just get out there and get the job done, and Lance Root can do that. He's going to have a race on his hands here, though. This will not be a give-me as he lines up alongside Luis Gonzalez.
That's right. Gonzalez earlier in the previous round ran that 367 at 103. Root now goes to the opposite lane. He's not been there all day. Oh,
and look at Lance Root. I mean, on it right there. Luis Gonzalez was looking to the left the entire time. I'm not sure he wasn't looking at Lance whenever he dropped the clutch.
He threw his arm up like he won, but he doesn't know he redlined it. That's a bummer.
Look at him look over immediately, and the quads aimed to the right. Oh, he never stopped.
Oh,
he just kept
rolled
rolling.
The beams, yep. Watch his fist go up. Oh, no, that wasn't a fist. That was the wrong pump there.
Good looking onboard shot from Lucas Oil in the instant replay. Lance Root, the man to beat out here today, gets it done. Let's talk to our winner.
Lance, congratulations on your Pro Quad Quick 8 win. Take me through that last run.
I staged and, I turned it up for the crowd and to put it on these guys, and luckily they got a little anxious and red lit. That's we come here to race and it's racing. You know what I mean? People get anxious and red light, and I just want to thank my mom, my grandma, my dad, my daughter, and my teammates, Mike Brock, and especially Lucas for coming out here and televising us, and I really appreciate it.
Had a little fun with Lance. He's a great guy, though, and an awesome racer. He picks up the win in Pro Quad.
We love to hear from our fans. Go to www.facebook.com and become a fan of Lucas Oil on the Edge. Join our OTE private group or like our page. Then post your comments about this Lucas Oil on the Edge episode. This Lucas Oil on the Edge telecast has been brought to you by Lucas Oil Products, made in America, sold to the world. General Tire, anywhere is possible. ReadyLift.com. Don't just lift it, ready lift it.
All right, 2 classes in the books here at the Dirt 300 Nitro Nationals, and 1 class yet to go. It's called Top Eliminator. Fans having a great time here. Charlie Fagan again putting everything together for all the competitors, and Lucas Oil helping out, of course, with some sponsorship along the way.
Top Eliminator is the category, and you are looking at out of control, baby. This is Paul Taylor, and he will make a single here in round number 1.
Again here, low 3s, maybe a high 2-second pass would be really strong. And Taylor puts a 3:11 up on the board.
Nice looking run. 3:11 at 106. Now, let me just explain to you, you can hear the difference in the motors. While they do look like top fuel cars, these are primarily alcohol burning machines.
Yeah, we've got to tell you, that 3:11 right there is as quick as we've seen all weekend long. In fact, the quickest, the previous 3:11 with a 1, he goes 3:11 with a 0. So very, very consistent out of that car as well. As we take a look at Terry Crawford now, line up next to Mark Greenwell.
Greenwell, a product of the 70s there, as you can tell there, in 3:45 to a 3:43, and I think Greenwell wins that baby on a hole shot.
Good side-by-side racing. Again, like in all of drag racing, the reaction times are so critical.
Watching the General Tire replay, the Yabba Dabba Doo machine has not got enough dew right there at the finish line stripe. Loses it on a hole shot, and Mark will move to round number 2.
Dean Boucher and Jim Rossi pairing up here, and again, another very creative style power plant here.
Yeah, check this baby out. The Extreme Transportation car, you can tell by listening, and just listeners to popping.
Cannot hang with the brute force of Jim Rossi, though. Rossi puts a 3:11 up on the board and says, I've got a little something for Paul Taylor out here as well.
3:11.0 again. He duplicates Paul Taylor's number. Taylor, though, the quicker the 2 by 4 miles per hour. That is a good-looking run right there. As we watch it in the General Tire instant replay, big old rooster tail and a 3.110 for Rossi and a big win.
Good-looking pass. Keep in mind, this is an index class. The index set at 2.950, so if you go quicker than that, you'll lose unless, of course, your competitor goes quicker yet. So it's something else they have to keep in the back of their mind as they're charging hard towards that finish line.
Mark Greenwell gets up here, and he will match up with 3:11 Paul Taylor. Greenwell's going to have to nail that tree because he's definitely the slower of the two by a substantial margin here.
Oh, and he does, too. He lays him out at the starting line, but still didn't have enough to beat him to the stripe. How about an 0.46 light for Greenwell? I mean, that's getting it done. Solid job there for sure. He went at 3:45 in the previous round, goes at 3:45 here. The car consistent, but just can't hang with Paul Taylor.
3:09. Paul Taylor picks it up by 0.02 of a second, and he will go to the final round.
Paul Taylor, you're on to the finals and top eliminator. Talk to me about that last run.
It was good. Everything was good. That was fastest pass of the weekend so far, and just hopefully one more round.
Are you going to make any changes coming up into finals?
Probably not. Probably leave it the same and hope for the best.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, so the final round will be Jim Rossi and, of course, Paul Taylor. This is a single here in the semifinal, so Rossi will have a shot here to run this thing wide open to the stripe and find out what he's got to play with.
Yeah, he's going to need to find a couple hundreds.
See that front end just dancing off the ground a little bit, and I've got to tell you, I don't know if he spun the tire there or just missed the setup because the ET is off, unless maybe he was just saving it a little bit, but 3:16 and went a 3:11 in round number one, and he needs to find some 3.0s.
Yeah, the speed would tell you that he was pretty well all out. And on the bye run, he could just be trying something, knowing that he might be in the lesser of the two lanes, but we are just about to find out as we are about to crown a champion here today.
Paul Taylor, last time out, a 3:09, 106 miles per hour. Definitely big mile per hour for the class so far here today.
Rossi has gone 3:11, Taylor 3:11 and 3:09. Here we go.
The better of the two lights goes to Rossi, but Taylor's going to take this one, driving away. Another 3:11 up on the board. Get the shoe polish out, man. That thing is consistent as he hops into a stop.
That is hard to believe for driving on the sand. 09, 11, and 11 in 3 runs. That thing is unbelievable. They both leave the starting line pretty much even, but a 45 has no match for the 3:11. Right there for your champion, Paul Taylor.
Look at him trying to get that thing stopped. Roll back there, big fella.
All right, Paul Taylor, congratulations on your win in the top eliminator class out here at the Dirt 300. Take me through that last race.
It was pretty exciting. I don't know what the number was yet, but we got the win, so that's the most important part. And it was good. It was a good weekend.
Awesome stuff. We hope you enjoyed all the great racing action here. Remember, you're not living unless you're on the edge.